Bonus podcastration classic. I deserve that. Anyway, how's it going, hosers? I am sitting here doing this intro with my cat on my lap. So if you hear purring, that's what you hear. Oh, there she goes. Never mind. And she's gone. Anyway, so you subscribed to get this bonus nonsense. So here it is. This is an early podcast from way back when we started, so the quality is piss poor as you expect of these things. But the topics are top notch because this one is Paul relating to me stories of his younger siblings who were twins who used to just prank and beat the snot out of each other all the time. Hence the name Brotherly Love of this episode. And it's pretty dang funny. These two peckerheads, Fred and Pete, his brothers, they just smack each other around and do funny stuff. And that's, what this one is. I don't know if any of them's ever even heard it. Probably not, or I'd be sued or something, or at least have to take it down. But maybe that's why this is a bonus thing. So, yeah. But there really ain't much to add. Yeah, this is early. This is 2020. Maybe even tail end of 2019. I think it was like 2020 when we started this. It was right when COVID just kicked off and so we were pretty much stuck at his apartment doing whatever. And luckily we still had hockey and all that. But yeah, that's all there really is to say about it. Brotherly Love, Paul's brothers. Yeah, they had some doozies and some funny stories. Probably not much different than, what we all did when we were young. Anybody that had brothers or sisters, you know how it goes. Ugh, my throat is trashed from sitting around the fire all night last night. But anyway, I'm done talking. Here it is. Take it away, Paul. Tell us some funny stuff at your family's expense. Later, dudes.
I have this old guy at work. There's an old guy at work. When I was young, I've been working at the same job. Well, we come from a family of machinists. I grew up with a machine shop in my basement. The basement was the machine shop. I had a step stool so I could see machines. I've been running surface grinders since I was honestly fourth grade. I've never known anything but machinery. This old guy at work, he wasn't old when he was doing this, but he was what would happen, I'd bend over. There was always bottles of rubbing alcohol to remove solvents and stuff. You always have rubbing alcohol is used all the time.
Is it isopropanol?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which that's what it is. That's the technical.
Thanks a lot. What's the Miss Frizzle from the Magic School Bus? So there's always bottles of rubbing alcohol to use to clean things. When I'd bend over, this old guy, he would squirt rubbing alcohol down my ass crack.
Well, and something's got to clean down there.
He thought it was really funny, and I'd say ow, that is cold and it hurts. And he'd say, huh, that's funny. I don't feel a thing. And that was his answer every time. Ha, okay, that's funny. I get it. A few years ago, I had my opportunity to get back at him. And he was looking at a computer and he was kind of hunched over, bent over. And I found a bottle of rubbing alcohol and I squirted rubbing alcohol down his ass crack. And he looks up at me, what the fuck was that about? And he was about to punch me. It's what you did that to me all the time. Don't you remember? Don't you remember ever doing that? I never fucking did that. Bill, that's where do you think I learned this from? And then he eased off. He realized oh yeah, I do that all the time. Yeah, that's definitely where I of course, if I would never have done that when I was a kid, you wouldn't be receiving it as an adult. This is just the time it came back to you once. It came back to you once and you wanted to kick my ass. You've done it to me at least 7 times and I've just taken it like a little bitch. And this is the first time that I've had an opportunity that the tables have turned, dude. Now you're getting alcohol down your ass crack and it sucks. And now you know it.
I'm going to assume he hasn't done that since.
Never happened since.
Yeah.
But honestly, when I did it to him, it hasn't happened for a while. but it did happen. Like it happened all the time.
That makes. So he did it to you all the time, but your one time was good.
My one time
all about it.
But the thing is, like, you get old and you get ornery.
Yeah.
Like it's funny when you're young. It's funny when you're young because like, I'm not ornery yet. Like the whole world doesn't piss me off right now.
No.
Now like the whole world pisses you off, and you have alcohol in your ass crack.
Hey, like I said earlier, at least you know it's clean.
Yeah, I guess. But even at that, it's totally not worth it. Like,
No.
It blows. It totally blows.
I'm trying to remember any pranks I did at work, but they're like so specific to work and like subtle that they're not funny to talk about on here. But
I've heard of guys do it. Like, this seemed so dangerous that it was something I would never do. But you get like a grease gun, put a big bead of grease over the top of people's wiper blades.
I've heard of that.
And like when you hit the wipers, you smear grease all over your windshield. So you're driving down the highway, and suddenly your windshield is like covered in like black grease, and you wiper fluid doesn't take that off. You're going 60 miles an hour, and you can't see. It's like the most dangerous. Like,
yeah, that's
honestly,
exactly.
I was young.
Be like,
I was young when they started telling me about that, and I thought, like, as a young kid, like, dude, that's so dangerous.
Yeah.
Why would you ever do that?
I heard the good prank some guy used to do. I think he just used tape. He would have like, there's those little metal wires there, and he just put a washer. He tied the washer to the wire, and then like I think just taped it to their drive shaft under their trucks. So like the faster you go, it just like clank, 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 clank. So people kept like thinking something was wrong with their vehicle and like pulling over. I know guys they used to tie strings of. We get all these black buckets, and you just stack them up, and there's like 100 of them at least, and they'd take like 20 of them, tie them up, and they'd hide them behind his vehicle so like he couldn't see them. Or I think that sometimes they'd put them under their trucks at night, and they'd get in and drive down the road and just dragging this big trail of buckets. Just like a childish thing that is kind of funny.
That is good. But the best prank. Okay, so one time my brothers are twins. They're 45 minutes apart.
This is good because before you start, can we make this? Can we just start telling or should I say their names? Telling your brother's stories?
Yeah, I think it's okay to say it.
Yeah, I wanted to make.
I don't have anything bad to say.
No.
My one brother is he's a state police officer for Pennsylvania. But he's not like I don't think I have anything to say that would like get him fired.
We could just like I said, we could not say their names. We'll just say brother 1 and brother 2.
Yeah. There's honestly there's nothing illegal. There's nothing that would like
brother F and brother P, so that we know.
No, they're Fred and Pete. Fred and Pete are my brothers. They're twins. We're not triplets. They're twins. I'm not a twin with them.
You're
I'm
all
older
ugly,
than
but
them.
that's beside the point.
Yeah, I'm just explaining like the way the family works. So
fucking door.
They're absolutely best friends, but they have such stupid fights that were like awesome. They were epic, like Godzilla versus Mothra fights. They were so great. The one, I don't know. I don't remember who did this to the other one, but one of them put a needle in the other one's deodorant. So like whenever the other one put put deodorant on in the morning, they would cut their armpits with a needle because it was sticking in their deodorant. I think it was Fred to Pete. I think that's how that one went. But honestly, like, how demonic is your brain to even come up with it? I could never ever. I don't know. I don't have a twin brother, so maybe if I had a twin brother, I could come up with something like that. Like, but that's just so diabolical. A needle in a deodorant stick. It's so hidden. Of course, you'd never see it. Why would you ever expect it? I've never looked at my deodorant stick to make sure nobody's like. I hope there's no needles in it. Insane.
That's bad. I heard. What was the roadkill one?
Okay.
That Pete chased.
We had at the machine shop. We all grew up working in the machine shop. That was just like. It wasn't a summer job. It was an all-the-time job. You would do it every Saturday. I'd be working in the machine shop. like all the time. It wasn't just summer, it was all the time. We'd throw like our lunch scraps outside the back of the shop, and there wasn't much like backyard. Like the shop was like built along the hill, and there wasn't much of like a backyard of the shop. It was just kind of like there was enough room to go out there and like walk around and stuff, and then it was hillside, like shale hillside, probably like 10 feet behind like the back of the shop and like sheer like rock wall. So they would throw like, you know, chicken bones, like whatever we'd eat for lunch, like the scraps of it they'd just throw outside. And there started to be a raccoon that was getting like close to the shop. And Fred built like an Elmer Fudd style trap. It was like a milk crate with a stick under it, like holding it up.
Oh, jeez.
And putting like the lunch scraps under that to like try to catch a raccoon. And Pete, we would like run, like we'd try to stay in shape. The shop was only like 2 miles from the house, and you could run through the woods. And during the summertime, like we would just run to and from work, like to run. Like it would just be exercise. Like you get home, like you'd be beat, but it was good exercise. Like keep you in shape for hockey. Like it was just good. Like it was good exercise. The one day, to be a jerk, Pete ran down the road. It was midsummer, hot, 90 degrees.
I know where this is going.
Pete went down the road, found a roadkill groundhog, ran back to the shop. Mind you, you're running. He has a roadkill dead, like infected.
Also,
gross.
like I assume cars were driving by, or at least one. I assume at least
Somebody
a
probably
car
saw
had
it.
to have seen
Somebody
him
had
pick
to have
this thing
seen
up.
it. Yeah, it's a main road. It's along a main road. Pete ran down the road, found this groundhog, carried this dead, infected, maggot-filled, like flies everywhere. It couldn't have been it honestly, like imagine a anything roadkill in the grossest form as possible. It was so gross. It couldn't have been it was disgusting. Pete had it in his hand, running with it, so breathing deep, sucking in all this aroma from this groundhog.
Roadkill stench.
To put it, the joke of it was going to be Fred was going to come into work the next morning and find this dead, festering roadkill under his trap.
It should have been a good prank.
It was, it's a good prank, but it's so not worth the effort you're putting into it. You have to hold this thing in your bare hands.
Yeah, I was thinking to see where I work, we have all them disposable latex gloves. I'm thinking, well, at least
he didn't have
that.
it. He didn't have it.
He didn't grab
nope.
that.
It was him running. I think it was fairly spontaneous. So I was working. Pete was done already, I think, and he tells me about it. He tells me about oh, look what I just did. And as soon as I walked out back, I threw up. It smelled so bad. It wasn't. I don't know how he was able to carry it in his hands.
Oh,
it was so gross. It could, if you'd have waited 2 more days, it would have been roadkill jerky. Most of the infection would have been dried up by now. But this was there's still enough juice in its body to be it was so gross. It was so gross. And Pete carried it back to the shop, and Fred, I don't remember. I don't think I told Fred. I don't think I spoiled it. I would say that because of course I wouldn't want to I wouldn't make it sound like I ruined a practical joke. But somehow Fred did find out, and I didn't
Probably
tell him.
Smelled it.
Maybe. I honestly I don't remember how that went. But Fred found out, and he was you better take this out of there. So Pete got caught before it ever happened. Before
Where Fred could find it.
Yeah. But man, the amount of effort that went into this stupid prank that was not damned if it wasn't funny, because it was a solidly funny idea.
It's he hurt himself more doing the prank than
Yeah, you're totally Okay,
Kinda.
like, yeah, that is funny, but dude, you're going through so much. And they would, one guy at work for his like daughter's youth group or Girl Scouts or something, she would sell like those like little like personal pizzas.
Oh yeah, I know what you mean. Them little like deep dish ones.
Yeah. They were like a 4-inch diameter pizza with like,
we used to get
you know,
them from the Schwanzman.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah, she would like sell them and they'd be like $15 for 12 of them or something. Like, oh yeah, you know, we always bought them. Fred, actually, I don't know which one would do. I don't know who was like. That's the thing. I don't like to like. The pranks were done, but most of them I don't remember who did it to who, and I wouldn't want to put either of them under the bus to like.
Yeah.
Wow, this kid's like definitely going to be a serial killer. They were both equally evil. I don't know who was like. One of them to the other one, they would wait till a pizza was like halfway cooked, and they would like surgically remove the cheese from the pizza and scrape all the sauce out and fill it with cayenne pepper. So when the other one would bite into the pizza, it'd be like, oh, this is like super hot. There's a 1/4 inch of cayenne pepper in it.
Just assholes.
They were such jerks.
Which one of you, or who drank the pee up at camp? Was that a prank?
Fred
or-
drank my pee.
That was an accident.
My brother
right?
Fred drank my pee. It wasn't this was not. I can't stress, this was not a practical joke. I did not mean for anyone to drink my pee, but
that ain't gonna hold up in court.
well, no, it totally would, because like when you hear the story, I was we went out, like we were camping. We always did a sausage fest camp trip, and it was like me, Fred, Pete, and whatever friends we want to bring would all go camping, and it'd just be like a guys camping trip, and ton of fun. You know, you just drink and go fishing, and honestly, it was a ton of fun. The only reason it doesn't happen anymore is because now like people have schedules. It's not as easy to get people out.
That's a bit up there too. It's kind of far north. Not too far.
But that's why it's good. Like it's just like a little bit far enough. That way it's like it's special. Like if I was going like 10 minutes down the road, then like, oh well, no, I'll just go next weekend. Like no, you make it like you plan a weekend around it.
Yeah.
But I went in town. There was a cigar store, and I bought a good Rocky Patel The Edge cigar, and I bought a bottle of wine, and I sat around a fire, and I chugged the bottle of. I didn't chug it, but I drank it fast. Like I drank a bottle of wine fast, and smoked a cigar, and you know, of course, I'm pretty tuned up, but I honestly I wasn't like shit faced drunk.
Yeah,
I was just like I was
good.
pretty tuned up. Yeah, I was feeling good, and I didn't want to walk too far away and go like I had to pee. I didn't want to walk like far away and pee, and there was like I just peed back into the bottle.
There's a bottle that just convenience.
It was Hazlitt Winery, Hazlitt Vineyards Red Cat wine.
So is it?
It
wasn't a white wine, was it?
No, it was a red wine. The
But
bottle.
he wouldn't know that. Like,
the bottle distinctly
when he saw
because the bottle distinctly said red.
Yeah.
It said red on the bottle 4 or 5 times. The word red was red was the most prevalent word on the bottle. The name of the wine was Red Cat. It wasn't White Cat. It wasn't, you know, anything that was like ambiguous. It was Red Cat, red wine. Red. So I just I pissed in this bottle just because I didn't want to walk, like, you know, I just pissed in the bottle. So Fred, my brother, he finds his bottle of wine, and I filled it, like I don't think I filled it to the brim, but I filled it up pretty much. It was more than a glass of wine. Fred goes off fishing, and he steals this bottle of wine from me, and he thinks I'm gonna drink some of Paul's wine. I took this bottle of wine from Paul, and I'm gonna get a couple. I'm gonna drink this. So he's down fishing at the river, and he takes a swig of wine, and he swallows it, and he says, "This is piss, isn't it?" I wasn't there. This is what I heard this from other people, and Fred, and he says, "This is piss, isn't it?" And I don't think anybody else knew, because I didn't think I was getting away with anything.
Oh,
I just
it sure as hell ain't wine if it tastes like piss.
Yeah, I honestly,
Only
I have
piss is gonna taste like piss.
the closest thing to tasting piss I've ever tasted was a few times when I'm like peeing in a urinal and I shake my wiener. I've had like piss come up on my lip.
Are you serious? I've never had that.
Really?
No.
It's happened like I can say at least twice in my life. It happened once within the last 2 years.
Not to my memory.
When you're like peeing in a urinal and like you
I just
shake
don't
your
shake it that hard. I
don't think I shake it hard, but sometimes like centrifugal force, you know, it's
I don't
like
got
a whip.
enough to
like
shake.
You know, crack a whip because it's so long.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a little like when I start at the base of it, it's just like a little moving of it. But when it hits like the tip, it's like a
Wave
Canyonero
factor.
song. You hear like it's a crack of a whip. No, not really. But I'm shaking. When I shake the leftover pee out of my wiener, I've had it happen at least twice in my lifetime.
Did he throw up at all after that?
He said he threw up. Yeah,
Okay.
but he like induced it.
Yeah, they puke a lot.
He induced it because it was gross. I have no idea what I haven't had enough like urine to know what it tastes like.
Yeah.
I just know that.
I wanted to. One time,
You wanted to?
I was drunk, and we were talking about it. We were talking about like if you drink all, if you a night after like a big day of drinking a lot, if your pee would taste anything like you could taste any alcohol in it. And I was really drunk one night, and I peed into a cup, and I put it in my refrigerator. I was like,
Wow.
I was insistent that I was gonna take it, like taste it, and then I just, luckily I couldn't. As
Did
drunk
you
as I
sober up
were,
enough in the morning? Like,
I mean, I was gonna do it that night, but I even hammered. I just couldn't get myself to try it, and I just dumped it out.
yeah, I would
thought
totally
it-
not do that.
What was how'd that story go? Didn't you say your one neighbor saw one of them do something to the other one?
Yeah, I don't remember which one it was. My friend Chris's mom, they lived across the street from us, and Chris is my best friend. I love Chris. Chris and I have been best friends since.
That's adorable.
Honestly, I don't remember what grade it was, but he's like we grew up together. He's one of those guys like I don't see him all that often anymore. Now he lives in Virginia. I don't see him all that often anymore. But as soon as I see him, like there's no like awkward pleasantries. It's like instantly like we're back to talking. Which like I love Chris, but
Anyway.
Chris's mom, we used to like growing up. We didn't really have a house. We went between our house and Chris's house, and Chris lived at our house. We lived at Chris's house. Chris's mom did our laundry. Our mom did Chris's laundry. Like they were just clothes. Like it wasn't like oh, we're going to a sleepover. I better pack clothes. Like, oh, I'm going to a sleepover. I'm getting this t-shirt back. You're gonna have like your clothes back because like that's just the way it's just the way it was. You just had like a vacation home. Chris's mom one day, she was watching Fred. Honestly, I don't know. I'm gonna say Fred was driving the lawnmower. Fred was cutting grass, and out of nowhere, this is a third person storytelling. So I didn't know of this at all until like Chris's mom told me about this. She was watching like Fred cut grass, and it was like, oh, this is cute. Fred's cutting grass, and out of nowhere, Pete jumps out and chases the lawnmower down with Fred on it, and like tackles Fred off of the lawnmower and starts like kicking his ass. And I don't know why. I don't know what happened. I don't know who won the fight. I don't know anything about it besides like.
It's funny because wasn't that a story? You would have never known this hadn't you talked to
No,
her
I
that
didn't
way.
know. I had
There's
no
just
idea.
So many shenanigans
This
they
was
got
just.
into that.
I think I heard this at Chris's wedding,
Yeah.
and like I was talking to Denise.
To
And
Denise.
I know I stuttered that one. Denise is a hard word to say. Denise.
Denise.
It's like it doesn't come out that easy. I don't know. It
Denise
doesn't
the
come out
Denise.
easy. I was talking to Chris's mom, and she was like telling me like she knows all the epic Fred and Pete fights because with like half of them happened at their house because that's where we spent half our time. Just some of these they're so silly, and I have no idea who won, why they happened, anything. I don't know at all.
I remember the one time it didn't get into a fight, but yeah, Fred plays on our team like consistently, like now pretty much every game. And Pete only played a couple times, but the one game that Pete played,
come on,
he was out on the ice. Fred came off the ice, and Pete went on for him. They had a line change, and Fred was pissed, set his stick down, grabbed Pete's extra stick, broke it in half on the bench, and Pete came over and, hey, if you're gonna break a fucking stick, don't break my stick, break your own. And they had to stare down, and Pete skated away. Fred looked at me and he's like, yeah, he's right. He's probably right. That could have been that'd been funny if they're on the same team, just punching away at each other on the bench. I could see how quickly. It was just how methodically he set his stick down and grabbed his brothers and just broke the shit out of it.
One of the last big ones. Fred would throw parties at when mom and dad weren't home. There would be a party. There was always kids over our house, but there was a bigger party when mom and dad were out camping or something. So, Fred threw a party, and somebody was smoking weed in the garage, and Pete was in school to be a cop, and Pete
that makes
reasonably was pissed off,
makes
and
sense.
It wasn't Fred. I don't even know who the kid was. Pete was mad, and Fred was I think it wasn't defensive, but he was hey, I didn't know, it's not me, it's somebody, it's Pete. It wasn't Fred trying to get Pete in trouble. It was just
just a party and stuff.
It was a party, exactly. It was just a party. So, but it ended up in tackling and I don't know if there was punching. It was one of the it was one of the last fights. They were 22 years old. They were old.
The garage door was half closed, and you just saw their feet underneath it pushing at
Yeah. The way it worked was there was the garage door. Everyone was in the garage playing beer pong was the most of it, and the garage door was 3/4 of the way shut. They had to open at the bottom to let some smell out and air, let fresh air come in. But also somebody was lit a joint, so there's smoke too.
That's funny.
Yeah, honestly, it is.
Funny.
But what you were seeing from outside was you saw 4 feet, you saw Fred's feet and Pete's feet going at each other, and you could see a fight, but only from the feet's point of view. You can only see the bottom of a fight. The last 16 inches of a fight. You couldn't see no fists were being thrown, no kicks were being thrown, but
That's
you were
fucking
seeing
funny.
a fight. A fight was happening, and it was oh nice, Pete and Fred are having another one of their brother drag out fights.
They continued to
That's-
fight inside that.
Well, Jackson
Was standing between to make up.
Jackson made them hug it out. Jackson's one of their mutual. I think Jackson is more Pete's best friend than Fred's best friend, but they're both Jackson has become a family friend. He's I consider myself friends with Jackson, even though I'm not I'm way more removed than Fred. He graduated with Fred and Pete. I really like Jackson. I don't see him that often. I don't text him we don't. I think we're Call of Duty friends, but I would never play against him or anything. Yeah, he's not really he's not a close friend of mine, but I really like Jackson. Jackson's a family friend, but he's mostly a Pete friend. And Jackson made Fred and Pete hug it out to bury the hatchet, go hug it out. It was a funny that's all that needs to happen.
I'm
They
trying
just
to
need
remember.
get,
I might have even been there, but I just don't remember.
you probably were.
Yeah, I just. Don't.
I remember this party, and this was one of the last times I was really drunk. This time, my wife and I weren't married yet, but she was right behind me, and I was so drunk. She was right behind me, and I was talking with my hands, and I elbowed her in the face, and it was it couldn't have been more of an accident.
Oh,
but
yeah.
that's the thing I remember.
So
I wasn't mad.
No, but I was I know you weren't mad, but I was really no, but I feel bad. I felt like shit about it. but it was complete, like, you were just right, like, honestly, like, you shouldn't stand that close to me.
Right here.
But
How about here's a good
it
time
sucked.
to. I'm gonna put in a commercial break here, and then when we come back, I'm gonna make you tell another story.
Good, I'm gonna pee.
Yeah.
This is
And we are back.
yeah,
Go
we're
ahead.
back. And
Continue
we're
where we left off with another.
back. I wish I could remember the one that I was trying
Yeah,
to
we
like,
have
think
another
of.
Pete and Fred
But
story. at
I
least.
forgot that I have, when I, like, moved out of my parents' house, I was able to, like, leave with this, my brother Pete was mad at Fred for, like, I think this is hockey. I'm almost certain this was hockey related. And Pete was so bad that he decided to write a poem. He wrote 2 poems about Fred.
So he's
This
gonna
one
read
is
it for you.
titled, yeah, I have this, this poem is written on, like, wide rolled 3-hole punch paper. Cause that's just what Pete had. I don't know what would make, how would you be so mad you'd be possessed to write 2
Oh
poems?
man. That's
But
so
this
childish.
is a poem, and it's like, it's written in pencil, and it's fairly well, like, this has seen some things. This piece of paper is so, like, worn. You'd have to see a picture of this piece of paper with, like, Pete's poem about Fred. It's called Fred Likes Old Men. Fred likes old men. He does not care if they are 110. He loves to run his fingers through their hair. He likes it better when they are bare. He likes it when they get verbal. He likes it even better when they get out the gerbil. He loves the look. That's a mistake. He loves to look them in the eye. Sometimes he thinks they are going to die. Their little old hearts can't handle much at all. But young Fred, oh yes, he will have a ball. Oh, young Fred, he loves old men. He cannot wait till he is 110. He wants young men to touch him then. Maybe the young lad he will get will be 10. With Pete's signature, couldn't be any bigger. The way he signs his T's are like his Pete Schultz. It takes
Let me
no
see
time
this.
to write it. Look how long his signature
What?
is.
So is there?
Yeah, there's a second
Okay,
poem on the
so
back.
There's one on the back. Good.
The back one isn't as good. That one's the best one.
What's
This one is
called?
titled Fred is a Douche. Fred is a douche. He tries to fight old men. He does not care if they are 110. Anything to boost his ego. Fred is a huge douche.
Doesn't even rhyme.
He gets kicked out of hockey games because he is a huge douche. He thinks he is so awesome, but really he is no cooler than a possum. All I have to say is that Fred is a huge douchebag. By Pete.
That's it. Oh, that's pure
I've
poetry.
had this hanging on my fridge, and I forget, like,
You might have to get a frame for that thing.
I feel like I do, because I'm like, it's wasting away.
Someday it's just gonna like wither away.
It's got so much like water damage from like splatter from the sink. It's in bad shape, but man, it's like it's such a piece of like family history. These Pete poems about Fred. They're just so funny. These two fight so much. But they were like these were all like younger
Just
too.
brothers.
Yeah,
That's
that's
what
just
they did.
it is brother stuff. Yes. Thank you so much. My wife just reminded me this story that I could not remember. So, I don't once again I don't remember
Man,
who
you're struggling with this one.
Well, I know I like all of them. I don't remember who perpetrated
Yeah.
like what.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
remember who started it. I know the end of it. At the end of it, it was Pete on Fred.
Okay.
But I don't remember so we were up at camp, we were deer hunting, and I don't remember which one of them killed a deer, but it was like a small deer. Me, Pete, and Fred were butchering deer, and the one was making fun of the other one.
Such an interesting story. You got to yawn through it.
The one was making fun of the other one because the deer was small, and they were saying like, "Oh, your deer is like a little baby. Oh, that's so sad. You made an abortion. Like this deer is barely alive. Like you shot it out of the womb. You know." It was. I'm pretty sure it was Pete on Fred.
Busting Fred's balls. You mean?
Yeah. I think it was.
So Fred shot a small deer,
I think so.
but Pete didn't shoot a deer at all.
Somebody
Is that what you're saying?
worked at the shop.
I
Evidence.
honestly, I don't remember which one shot. Like a small deer.
We'll just
was
say
shot.
Fred shot it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
These stories are so interchangeable that who cares?
Yeah, it's
They're
like
all-
Beavis and Butthead. Nobody
Yeah.
cares like if Beavis did something or Butthead did something.
Because they are both Beavises and Buttheads, apparently.
So, we were butchering deer. I killed a deer too, and I think like we butchered mine. Like I wasn't involved. Like I was there because I was like working, but I wasn't the one. I shot like a. I'm not saying this because I'm like talking, but honestly, I shot like a medium-sized deer. Like it wasn't like a massive buck, but it was like a a doe that wasn't like I wasn't going to catch any flack for the deer I shot. I just shot like an okay deer. It was not that you should like.
It's just
catch
gonna be bigger
flack
than the
or
other
not.
one. As long as it's bigger than Fred's.
Exactly. It was like it didn't have spots on it. No, the other one they didn't shoot a fawn. It wasn't like a baby, but it was like small. And honestly, sometimes like it's hard to tell exactly how small it is. Like you know, a deer comes, like you're just gonna shoot it. We were butchering it. The one was making fun of the other one for shooting a little baby, and so I'm assuming you don't know like kind of deer fat has kind of a gross smell. Like deer meat is delicious, but like when you use deer fat has like a
Is it a gamey smell?
I don't know how you'd explain it. It's just kind of like it's not like it doesn't smell rancid. It doesn't smell like it's not rotten. It's not like vinegar. It's just kind of like yeah, it's just it's not a good smell. It's not something like it's not an appetizing smell. Like you shoot a deer, you really like you don't take the fat off because of like, oh, I want lean meat. You take the fat off because like honestly like the fat is like really unappetizing. It's not like pig fat is like delicious. Deer fat is not. Deer fat is like it's gross. So they were fighting. I don't know, like I don't remember what all went down. It was like exchange of words. You shot a baby deer, you know, you're a jerk for shooting such a small deer, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna say it was Pete. Pete took a handful of deer fat and like face washed Fred with it. Which like he like all over his face. It was not subtle. It was like clearly like you're trying to start a fight. You're not doing this to be like ha 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 like a little like side punch. That's it. Like no, this is like there's no way this isn't gonna end with fists being thrown. You're clearly like throwing like what else would you possibly do besides like try to beat each other up? So of course a fight ensued. We were at like camp. We don't own the camp. We're like members of the camp. And there's quads and like machinery and stuff up at like the camp like garage where we were butchering the deer. They started like punching, fighting each other, and Pete ended up the victor in this fight. Pete was on top of Fred. Fred was like hunched down in a corner between a quad and a trailer, I think. And Fred said to Pete, you idiot! Don't you realize we can't be fighting in here? There's other people's stuff. And that was Fred's way of like getting out of like getting your ass kicked. Like, no, like this is a fight that like was forming. Like this had been brewing for a while, and like it's finally come to a head. Here's the fight of it. Like we're at the pinnacle of fight, and Fred was going to like Fred had lost the fight.
He's pulling out the card.
Yeah.
He's pulling out the being responsible card.
The way of him ending his fight is
But he just didn't want it punched anymore.
yeah. It was over. Like he had lost. It was totally over. And Fred's thing was, Pete, we can't be fighting in here. Well, this is other people's stuff. Like there's a chance that Pete's gonna dent a tray a quad with his fists. Like you're just fighting. Like it's over. Like it's over, Fred. You've been beaten. This is like Fred's way of tapping out.
Yeah.
It was so it was just perfect. Like another twin fight.
You have a video on
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah. I had a video on my NV2 of it, but
Oh, you did? I never. Oh, damn it.
it was a long time ago. It was I didn't even know you at the
I
time.
wish I could see it.
Yeah, it was so long ago. Like, it was a video back when I still use my phone to this day as an NV2, but I buy them off eBay. I've never owned a smartphone.
Do you remember anything? I remember when you told me that maybe it was that roadkill one, but I thought I remember the needle and the deodorant was retaliatory for something else.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, I can't
I know
remember either.
one of them. Oh yeah, one of them. We had toy handcuffs. Maybe it was a real handcuff, or maybe it was just tied. They were playing a game. They had bunk beds. We were playing some kind of game. I don't know which one did it. I have a hard time. I hate to put one of them under the bus for them because I could easily have the characters wrong. It's definitely Fred and Pete, but I have no idea.
The last one was Pete instigated the fight, so this time just make it Fred instigated it.
Okay.
What a switch.
Fred tied Pete to the top bunk of the bunk bed and wouldn't let him out, and Pete pooped his pants off the bunk bed.
I didn't know this one.
That's what's a shame. It's so easy. It's so easy to say that, but it's just brother stuff.
Yeah.
I don't consider that I know it is weird because it is okay, that's a pooping story. Nobody wants to hear a story where you're pooping into your hand.
Tell me real
45
quick,
minutes.
how did that ketchup one go? That wasn't a feud one.
So
but-
this one wasn't a feud. This was just a funny prank. This was post Jackass. When Jackass was popular, we all wanted to do Jackass stuff. So, what we did was we hid in the woods. It was me, Pete, beep. Me, Pete, Chris, and I think our other neighbor Joe was there. We had a video camera. We hid in the woods, and Fred laid along the side of the road. He covered himself in ketchup. Fred was covered in ketchup, and he laid along the side of the road, no shirt on. I think he had shorts on, but he covered his body in ketchup. He laid along the side of the road and waited for a car to drive by, and finally a truck drove by, and I saw a 12-year-old kid covered in, you'd think of his blood when you're driving past, laying on the side of the road, and they slammed on the brakes. They slammed on the brakes, and as soon as they slammed on the brakes, Fred got up and he booked it, and we were in the woods and we booked it. We had it on video, but it was one of those things we didn't realize oh, this is gold. We just had it and we oh, we better delete this.
Yeah.
For some stupid kid reason. We were more worried about being in trouble than having comedy gold. Because honestly, it was pretty friggin' funny, and nobody would have expected it. It wasn't it's not Los Angeles where you expect I would assume if you live in Los Angeles or New York, you expect Johnny Knoxville or the Impractical Jokers or Borat to show up somewhere. This was nowhere. Nobody's gonna. This wasn't a prank. Nobody would expect a prank.
Was this close to your house?
Yeah, it was
Okay,
right
so
down
this
the
is
road, yeah.
kind of back road stuff.
Yeah,
right?
it was right down the road. It
That's
was
funny.
man, it was funny. It
Was it on
so funny.
Spooky Hollow Road by chance?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's the name of the Spooky Hollow Road we drive by every day. That's funny.
Funny stuff. Growing up.
Hell, we have enough for a podcast, I think.
Yeah, that was a full episode. I did
Yeah.
not expect that. I was just
No.
gonna tell a couple stories.
I know as soon as we stop recording, there's gonna be a story we're gonna think of, but
It's
well.
okay. We'll save it for
So
later.
we'll save it for next time. I guess that's enough for this episode. So you can all eat shit and die
Oopie doopie.
later.